The 1-5-10 strategy, how to engineer your dream life. What if I could tell you that in a few years from now, your life could be 10,000% better, like from dead broke and struggling in a one-bedroom apartment to a multimillionaire who has everything, including free time. The fact is most people fail to succeed because they fail to plan their life. If you want to radically change your life, you have to make a plan. You have to give your life a roadmap or a GPS system. For my entire life, I've been using what I call the 1-5-10 strategy. And let me tell you, it works beautifully, and it is responsible for the awesome life I lead today. And yes, I still use this to this day. It works like this. Get a journal or several pieces of paper. Do not use a digital device. And then on one page, write 10 years. And then envision how your life would look in 10 years from now if everything went as well as it could. Envision it as a best-case scenario. Where would you live? What would you drive? What would you be doing? What's your net worth? Where would you vacation? What would your daily day look like? Write everything down and be specific. Clip photos if you need to. So for example, let's say in 10 years you see yourself with a $20 million net worth because you just sold your company for $15 million. You live somewhere sunny in a house on the ocean. You have an awesome spouse. You are perfectly debt-free. You are doing what you want to do without constraints of money. Now at this point, your 10-year vision might seem a bit like a fantasy, but trust me, it isn't. Now get another piece of paper or turn the page and write 5 years. Underneath that, write what your life would need to look like to be halfway to your 10-year vision. So if you just sold your company for $15 million in year 10, at year 5, you probably have a business that is doing several $1 million in revenue and several $100,000 in profit. Maybe you have $1 million saved. On the spouse front, maybe you've been in a relationship with somebody awesome for several years. Write down your halfway point and what it should look like. Then turn the page or get another piece of paper and write 1 year. What would your life need to look like 1 year from now to be 20, maybe 25% closer to that 5-year vision? Well, if you have a business that does several $1 million in revenue at year 5, then at year 1, maybe you just have a business that is profitable. You have the foundation laid for scale with an awesome productocracy. Maybe you've paid off your first credit card. Maybe you've been on 20 dates in pursuit of your soulmate. Maybe you've become proficient in some computer language and built yourself a high-leverage skill. Write it all down 1 year from today, what it should look like. Now, once you have all this mapped out, congratulations, you now have a roadmap for your life. But more importantly, you now created a decision framework for action. From this point on, after you create your 1-5-10 strategy, you now have a framework that tells you the right decisions to make and not make. You know exactly what choices you should and should not be making. If any decision advances you toward the 1-year vision, it's the right decision because it moves you toward the 5 and the 10. Any decision or action that does not move you closer to the 1-year vision, well, then it's an action fake, a detour from your dream life. Of course, I'm not suggesting you can't go to the movies or to a baseball game, but in general, the 1-5-10 plan acts like a decision compass for moving the needle on your life. This is the strategy I've been using to map out my life. Interestingly, because I recently moved across town and was stuck digging out of a cluttered garage, I recently found my 1-5-10 strategy from years ago when I was in my early 20s. After I dug it out of the dusty box, I was amazed at what I read. Everything I wrote in there came true. Well, not everything, but everything that remained important to me. Financial freedom, check. Lamborghinis, check. Sunny climate, check. Freedom to write without financial limitation, check. And a whole lot more. I also wrote down courtside seats to the Bulls game, which, of course, I don't care about any longer, so that disappeared. As you change, so will your 5 and 10-year visions. So if you want to learn more about the 1-5-10 strategy, it is outlined in my new book scheduled for release in 2020. Bottom line, If you want to succeed and give your life a huge quantum leap, you have to plan to succeed. A big part of the process is creating a decision framework that highlights the daily actions you need to take to make it happen. And that only happens consistently when you give yourself the framework that keeps you on track and on pace toward that 1-year vision, which of course advances you to the 5 and 10-year vision. Myself, I write the 1-5-10 plan on paper and then I encase it in plastic liner. Write your 1-5-10 strategy out and frame it on the wall. Keep it front and center and you keep the decision framework active, and then watch your life shift. 1 year from now, you'll be astounded at the changes in your life. Good luck.